Hey there everyone, this is Cass with SCNS Live. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to check out the video version of this, you can check it out on YouTube. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, all at SCNS Live. Thank you so much and enjoy the show.
Today we've got
Cat. I'm always Cat.
You're always Cat, and then next to Cat.
I'm usually Cass.
But who are you today?
Yeah. Sometimes I'm mocking.
I don't know.
You don't know? You're Dean
got
Winchester.
lost. Yes.
Trash.
Sam.
Trash.
And next
Trash.
to you, we've got a very special guest.
Oh yes.
That's right, baby. I'm part of the Memphis Mafia. I'm right here.
Ladies and
Check it
gentlemen,
out.
It's Fat Elvis.
Uh-huh. No, this is Skinny Elvis. Come on.
Skinny Elvis.
Can't you see what I'm at?
My bad.
So this
Where
is-
I'm
this
at?
is-
Come on.
This is pre-drugs, right?
This chair is holding me.
None of it.
It's sustaining me
You're always
with
Cat.
no problem whatsoever. Can't you tell?
That was really good.
We don't have
Actually
anyone even
impressed.
available to get married.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, sorry.
Married.
Yeah.
Not about
sisters.
it.
Like,
Sisters,
it's,
Yeah.
I'm
So,
sorry.
and behind the computer, as I said a little bit ago, who do we got there? It is none other than Jason the X.
We can't say
Oh my
making
God,
everything
I didn't
looking
change
pretty.
apparently I'm Cora, my name's
Hi,
You're not fooling anyone.
Cora.
Hey, I ain't like
Do this.
squeaking
Do
in.
this. Do this.
I feel,
Awesome, guys. Well,
I feel
like I said,
ashamed.
welcome to another edition of SCNS Live. We've got some awesomeness going on. We're going to be talking D23, Gamescom, and the
Whatever.
bitter divorce between Disney and Sony, and the unfortunate child that is Tom Holland in between.
Now we all know what it's like to be children.
Yes. So, as we started with some super cool nerd news.
My story? We're doing my story? Anyway, so let's start with my story.
I was asking who's starting.
I'm starting. Where's my camera? Where's my eye line? I got this. So, Instagram hoaxes. Have you seen any of these? Anyway,
Nope.
this week there was a widely circulated Instagram hoax about your photos because apparently tomorrow starts the new Instagram rule. It doesn't say which date, which I find funny. Tomorrow, where they can use your headphone or your photos. Don't forget deadline today. Blah blah blah. Litigation against you somehow. All this stuff. And then it asks you to say, I don't give Instagram or any entities associated with it permission to blah, 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 blah. Okay, so first things first. Instagram was not changing their policies. They came out and said, no. And if they were, this block of text you can repost to your feed doesn't do anything. But a bunch of people fell for it, including a bunch of celebrities, including Julia Roberts, Usher, Pink, Rob Lowe, Tom Holland,
Aww.
and maybe most importantly, Governor Rick Perry. Governor Rick Perry is the U.S. Secretary of Energy. He's in charge of our nuclear weapons program. And he has no idea about what hoaxes are or why you shouldn't share them. So that's encouraging. So anyway, it's not true. Instagram came out and said they weren't changing their policies, etc. What do you guys think about this?
I've seen this a couple of times with Facebook, and it's funny seeing certain people reblog it. I'm like, you did this 6 months ago. Guess what happened 6 months ago? Nothing. Guess what happened the 6 months before that? Nothing.
There was a scam a long time ago that AOL was going to start charging you 5-cent tax for email or something. That's the most OG thing I can remember about it. Cass?
Like stuff like this has been going on. I feel like since the internet was invented. Like, have we not moved past it and learned, as a society, have we not learned that these are never accurate? It's never a thing. I don't understand how people keep falling for this.
I mean, there are people in society that believe there's a flat Earth, so.
You know what? That's fair.
Or that vaccines
Or-
cause autism.
or that certain people think they're the chosen one.
Yeah.
Certain other people voted him into office. So.
Elvis.
Many people think that I have been the chosen one for quite some time.
I'd say
So-
you're more likely. You got a fair Midland shot.
In all fairness, I do have one thing to add to that.
Yeah, hang on. Hang on 1 second. Is Elvis anything else? Are you done? Do you know what the internet is?
What is the internet? Yeah.
There's peanut butter jelly banana sandwiches in there.
And this Instagram
Bacon.
thing that you mentioned, can this help me be a better federal agent for the government?
Yes.
I mean, with people this gullible, probably.
Nixon will still give you that badge. Don't worry.
I'm gonna have to look into this whole Instagram thing. Anyway, back to you, Jason.
You'll be a hit.
It's just real quick. Rick Perry is an idiot.
I know. He's the longest tenured governor in Texas history as
Y'all
well.
follow me on Twitter.
Mhm. Yeah. So, this is my official editorial on this, is that, yes, it is a hoax, and yes, things have been hoaxed. People tend to have no idea what the legal repercussions of their image or their photos are, or videos of them. And I am not a lawyer. I am not a legal advisor. I'm not anything of the sort. But if you're unfamiliar with the laws of your state regarding your images, how they're published, how they're used, and also whether people can record you without your consent, this is my big one. Look into those laws. Just because Reddit says it's illegal for somebody to keep recording you after you say not to, doesn't mean that's the case. In fact, it's typically fine for someone to record and post things of you. Just familiarize yourself. Images are who we are in a lot of cases. It's good to know. That's all I get.
That was deep. I like that.
I'm getting so mad at all the people like, no, if I tell you to stop recording me, you have to do it. It's illegal. I'm like, it's definite.
No.
They don't tell me that, by the way. I'm not in situations recording people.
There's definitely bootleg recordings out there of me performing on stage, but I mean, I've sold 1.8 billion records worldwide, so I mean,
How
you
do
know.
you take a bootleg recording of someone when cameras don't exist?
That
They were
camera's-
around.
Audio
He was a
recordings.
movie
Yeah.
star.
And I
I'm
have been
not
in a few
stupid.
movies.
I know.
I didn't
So-
know, you know, but I had to watch them. My aunt liked old
I mean,
movies.
no one's sold more records than I have.
That's
But
not accurate.
just to be fair,
That's not
worldwide,
true.
for we can debate it later.
When he was-
Okay,
But just to
when
be
he
just
was-
to be just to be absolutely, out here and truthful and honest, I've never actually sold a record, behind the counter and put it in a bag and handed somebody a receipt.
Then you've sold
Okay,
zero records.
But I've made a bunch of records. That's
All
what
right.
I'm
Well,
saying.
Elvis,
lot of records.
Elvis, what's your story to this week? What do you
It's a
got?
deep
I'm glad you asked. Almost always, Ricardo. Glad you did. Have you ever seen Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain?
What does that mean?
I looked in the mirror one time.
Why did you have a mirror
Fair
in
enough.
the rain?
Are you lonesome tonight?
Oh.
Do you just want to be my teddy bear? Do you know what TCB stands for? Well, I'm going to tell you. It stands for taking care of business, baby. Okay? Me and the Memphis Mafia. Since I was a young folk music fireball, I dreamed of being a superhero. Well, now Netflix and Sony Animation is going to make that dream a reality in the soon-to-be hit series called Agent King. Yeah, baby, I'm going to be a federal agent at large in the Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs.
That's ironic.
It is. I'm going to be part of a shadowy government agency combating domestic threats against the U.S. This is going to be life-changing for many people. Did you know that I once fought a tornado in Tupelo and survived? True story. True story. Did you know that I live a little and love a little?
Are these Elvis songs?
I do.
Some of them are.
I do. So Priscilla Presley, my love, she is helping produce this series for Netflix called Agent King. And one of my trusted advisors, who was part of my Memphis Mafia, will be also helping produce this series. I do not have a time stamp for you to be able to watch this show, but I suggest we all get on a Louisiana hayride and watch it together.
I'm down.
Any of these references.
I need you to understand this. When I visited President Nixon, I made sure he was I hope you're listening. I made sure that he was very aware that I wanted to be a deputized agent of the law, and I was wanting to do whatever it took. I stayed in a Washington hotel under the name of John Burroughs for as long as it was going to take. I told him I'm not leaving without that badge, Mr. Nixon, President Nixon. I called him Mr. Nixon because he let me. But anyway, so this is going to be better than cuddling with your teddy bear, but you're welcome to do both. Watch Agent King and check out Agent King when it comes out, because it's going to be let's see, how do I put it? Jason, do you think it's going to be better than watching Transformers? Because I think it will be.
That's
You
sacrilege.
shut your dirty mouth. Because nothing is better than watching Transformers.
I made a movie called Clambake, and that was almost as good as Transformers, Jason. But,
No.
I'm gonna take your insult in the best of. So anyway, on to your story about banana hammocks. What do you got?
Okay.
Famous Elvis saying. I
It's
know.
your baby. You rock it, baby.
Thank you very much.
Anybody have any thoughts on the Elvis? I've got nothing.
I think this is complete madness. Honestly, they're
I wish I
making
could shoot a documentary on it.
The only thing I can see this being in, it is an adult animated version of this going on, that there are going to be conspiracy theorists now saying that someone OD'd Elvis and that's why he died.
What drugs were taken when they were pitching this?
Not
Is
the
this-
dangerous ones.
Is this adult like Bob's Burgers is adult, or
I
adult
think-
like Archer is adult?
I
It's
think
going to be Archer. It's written by one of the Archer scribes.
Oh, so literally.
Yes, it is going to be adult
Okay.
animated.
Oh,
And
okay.
Netflix,
I'm kind of on board now.
Netflix,
I know,
by the
right?
way, home to many successful BoJack
Mm-hmm.
Horseman, many successful animated series. So this is, I'm losing my accent, but you're gonna, tune in and check it out. It's going to be adult. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, no release date yet, but they did order it, so that's going to be interesting.
All right.
I got nothing. It should be a train wreck worth watching.
Hoy! It's going to
Lucky
be great.
God.
Probably there's going to be a jetpack involved in his jumpsuit, so
Awesome.
There will be many ornate costumes that I did read. They will be developed. Just a whole bunch of costume changes, like you would expect a icon of his sort to have.
I like it. I
Yeah.
dig it. All right.
Well.
So.
On to you.
Over the past year, I think 3 superhero and comic book movies have made over $1 billion. It's pretty safe to say that they are cemented in their popularity, in their culture. But there's one person that does not care for people that watch comic book movies. Unfortunately, that person is one of the stars in Joker. His name is Mark Maron. He is a comedian, and he was on, I believe, he was on Conan O'Brien recently. He said, and I quote, "I'm a grown-up, I'm not 7, and I think those movies are for grown male nerds." Gender aside, it's interesting that someone that is in one of these movies is kind of biting the hand that feeds them. He was obviously booed, and he said, "Take the hit, you guys are in charge of culture." He did have... Again, this person is a comedian. He did say that he wants to go see, quote, grown-up movies. Part of the experience where you walk out and you're like, I don't know, did the guy die? It's not clear. I want to see movies where I don't understand the ending.
go watch The Room.
Go watch Inception. I mean, like, it's absolutely fair. And I'm kind of curious what we think about someone that is kind of biting the hand that feeds them when it comes to comic book movies.
You dense mother effer.
Yeah.
Like, what? Okay, he's not entirely wrong about that we control the culture. I will give him
Understand
that.
the ending.
We do in a lot of ways, because 15 years ago, superhero movies were not that cool.
What about Nipple Batman?
It wasn't that cool.
No, it wasn't.
No.
But it, like, these movies are making billions of dollars. They're putting so many people with jobs. Shut up. Jason, go ahead.
I'm just saying it's easy to talk shit after you've cashed the check.
It's fair.
True.
I'm guessing he is not expecting to be in a sequel. But
I don't think there's going to be a Joker sequel.
well,
I hope
the
not.
word on the word I read today was that Todd Phillips is open to doing another one if Phoenix is willing to come back and do a second Joker film.
Okay.
But that just says to me he either didn't enjoy the experience or, you know, he's got enough money in the bank, he doesn't care what anybody else thinks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's very smart to say that, but you know, if he didn't like it, he didn't like it. I don't know, but I would argue that superhero films have been with us since 1978. If you want to talk about Christopher Reeve in 1978, that's 41 years of movie magic, in my opinion. I think there's been a lot of stuff to get excited about if you're a comic book fan. Now, admittedly, there were some lean years. There weren't a lot of superhero films being made, but still, especially in the last 15, 20 years, it's been mega box office. So obviously it's not his jam.
I don't care that he said it at all. As a nerd, I don't care that he said it. I think that the people who cast him wrote the check, like, so to speak, for him. He's a comedian. He's a vaguely offensive comedian in a lot of cases. DC has a strong history with being marketed towards grown-up male nerds. Like, it's kind of the people that I feel like should be insulted by this. It's hilarious to me if they are. Like, I'm just going to put it there. There's a specific fan base that I think he's talking mostly to and about.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but that's how it came across to me. And I don't care if you want to make fun of certain types of nerds. And I feel like the follow-up saying, like, you guys are in charge of stuff. Okay, fair enough. You know the power that's wielded in the industry by nerds. Like, you get it. It's whatever. Fair enough.
I think it's kind of a case of punching up, not down.
Yeah.
Because we do seem to be kind of in charge of what's going on in especially in media.
Yeah.
That's why they call us.
But yeah,
He's already shot that movie. He's cashed that check.
I
He ain't coming back.
mean, I personally thought it was hilarious. So
Could be
Oh,
interesting.
I don't care about what he said.
Yeah.
Who does he
F
play?
him.
I'm actually not sure who he plays in the movie.
Nobody cares who he plays.
I'm interested to see his performance.
I'm
on
ready
that.
to see his character
really
die
good
because
in
he's clearly not
Glow.
coming back.
Yeah, clearly not coming back. Maybe
He
he's
is really
jealous
good in
that
Glow.
he can't be, in the forefront of
He
one of
sounds
these
like
films.
a New York comedian to me.
I
That's
think he's
all.
one of the cops. I think he is a New York comedian.
There you go. There
It's
it
like,
is.
oh,
Jason?
you're crossing into some new territory.
Yeah.
You're making fun of nerds. Ooh.
We haven't done that since the 80s.
Bitch, I grew up in the 80s.
I just
Anyway,
read about it.
What do you got, Jason?
Well, Sony just, has made some mistakes this week, but let's not count out the other mistake that they've made. It has been confirmed for now the Uncharted movie is shelved with Sony. Granted, people are still under contract. Tom Holland, who is going to come up in this show at some point, I am sure, he was slated to play young Nathan Drake, but at this time, the movie, and let's just say it's now been put in development now. They've lost their director. I don't even know if it was announced they do have a script. Sorry, they do have a script for the movie. They don't have a director, and they got Tom Holland. This does not make a movie. So Sony, who might be looking for other franchises to start up, try to make some money, is not doing an Uncharted movie, and we can pretty much just, at this point, I'd pretty much say it's not getting done. Nathan Fillion's not getting any younger because he's the only person that should play Nathan Drake. So, yeah, he's doing the rookie now. That's good work, Nathan.
Sure.
I know.
It's a rough show.
So, yeah. I I'm disappointed in this. This is one of my favorite game series. It's pretty much over. It ended well. I'd love to see a movie. I'd love to see maybe an Amazon series.
Yes.
Amazon. Hook a brother up. So, yeah. Uncharted movie with Sony is shelved until further notice. Thank you, Sony, for just making my week this week.
Any thoughts, guys?
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
Yeah. Nathan Fillion was in was it like a 12-minute short promoting
It
this?
was great.
It was wonderful. I was looking forward to this coming to fruition, this project. I really enjoy his talents and what he contributed to that short.
I honestly thought that was going to spark like what Ryan Reynolds did with the Deadpool skit that he released. Like somebody would go, hey, I could probably make some money off of this. But no.
I was fairly vocal about how I don't think Tom Holland is right to play Nathan Drake.
Young Nathan Drake?
No, I don't like it.
Who cares?
I don't think he has the gravitas that.
He is Spider-Man.
I
He
think
is
less
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man and more Umbrella.
Umbrella by Rihanna.
Mhm.
That's fair, and he
From
is
the chat,
physically talented.
how is Sony still in the movie business? 'Cause they do
Really not sure.
They make some okay movies.
They do. Venom being one of them.
Into the Spider-Verse.
They're
Yeah.
going to
We'll get
shelve
that into
this
him in a
with
little
the
bit.
Sandman project. Like somebody will pick it up.
No. But yeah, I don't know. I do like I like the story of Uncharted, so I was excited, and it's definitely a bummer.
Cat.
The problem with video game nerds is that we don't centralize very well
No, I don't.
on social media. Twitch is Twitch, and it's hard to keyword search it. We don't tweet as often. Like, it's just hard to centralize. So I feel like there was and is support for this movie, but it's hard to find it and transfer it to dollars for the project or potential
Well,
marketing.
my feeling on that is, despite whatever they do, I still have Uncharted. I still have all of the games, and I can go back and replay it through it. So instead of risking the studio making a horrible Uncharted movie, I still have it. So there.
That's fair.
Cool. So to go along with the Sony train, this was a week, or at least the last couple of days. Disney and Sony have come to a divorce, kind of. As of right now, Spider-Man is no longer in the MCU. Disney came up to Sony and said, hey, we want to make our deal 50-50, not the 5% of first dollar gross anymore. That was the initial reports. New reports are saying that Disney wanted 30%, so we'll kind of keep an eye on all that. But of course, Sony, with there being two $1 billion movies, said no, we want to keep the original deal, which also had a unique merchandising arrangement. Sony had earlier relinquished the merchandising rights to Disney for a one-time payment of $175 million. Also in the original deal, insiders note, a provision that saw Disney making a yearly royalty payment to Sony that was amounting to around $30 million a year. Sources say that Disney tied the royalty to the performance of the Feige-produced movies. The better the movies performed, the lower the royalty. But now Sony is also blaming Disney, is trying to lay some of the blame at Disney, saying that their Burbank-based studio now had Feige too busy to work on future movies, and he's too spread thin. He's got the Eternals, and he's going to try to do the X-Men and Fantastic Four and all these other things. So he's like spread way too thin for him to really be involved in a IP that they don't own, which was actually from the Sony statement. They said, much of today's news about Spider-Man has mischaracterized, there we go, recent discussions about Kevin Feige's involvement in the franchise. We are disappointed but respect Disney's decision not to have him continue as a lead producer on our next live-action Spider-Man film. We hope this might change in the future, but understand that the many new responsibilities that Disney has given him, including all the newly added Marvel properties, everything they got from Fox, do not allow time for him to work on IP they do not own. Kevin is terrific, and we are grateful for his help and guidance and appreciate the path he has helped us He has helped put us on, which we will continue. Also, somebody had said that the Sony feels comfortable that they now understand Kevin Feige's playbook enough that they don't need him. So that's also another kind of thing they're saying, hey, actually, we don't need Kevin Feige anymore because we can kind of take over from there. Jeremy Renner did make a statement saying, hey, Sony Pictures, we want Spider-Man back to the at Real Stan Lee and at Marvel, please. Thank you. Hashtag congrats. Hashtag Spider-Man rocks. Hashtag please. He wrote on his Instagram. Now here's where it gets a little twisty. JC Lee, which is the daughter of the late great Stan Lee, sided with Sony, saying they didn't treat Stan Lee right, and then no one from Disney and Marvel called her after Stan Lee had passed to offer condolences of any kind. She said, Marvel and Disney seeking total control of my father's creations must be checked and balanced by others who, while still seeking to profit, have genuine respect for Stan Lee and his legacy. Whether it's Sony or someone else's, the continued evolution of Stan's characters and his legacy deserves multiple points of view. This whole thing is so screwed up. I don't even know where really to begin. Obviously, everyone is mad at Sony, saying that they're taking Spider-Man away from the MCU, which kind of. I understand Disney wanting to profit a little bit more. It was a very profitable character for them. Thoughts? What are you guys on? Jason, go for it.
Oh, well, no one's going to like what I'm about to say, but Sony is wrong, and I said this before the show, because they have forgotten their place. I'm sorry. Yes, you made $1 billion off these two movies, and suddenly you grown. It's like when a teenage kid bucks up to his dad. No, you have forgotten your place, and you don't know what Disney will do to ruin you until eventually, in about 4 years, I'm reckoning, I'm playing the Disney Station 6. Okay? You need these people to make these movies the billion-dollar machine that they are. We've already seen what you could do with Amazing Spider-Man. You made $700 million. Congratulations. But you didn't make the billion. You didn't have the eyes on the product until Disney got involved. I'm sorry. I don't like the Mega Mouse and their influence, but you ain't a big enough dog in the fight. I'm sorry, Sony. You're not. They will take Spider-Man off of comic shelves. They will stop making action figures. They will take the licensing away from everything. How do I know that? Because they did it with the X-Men, and look what happened. Fox no longer owns those properties. Disney will go out of their way to screw you, and all of us will suffer. Unfortunately, actually, comic fans won't suffer because it has been proven that comic fans, if we don't get a property for a while, say like Fantastic Four or the X-Men, when they come back, sales go through the roof. Marvel and Disney have played this game already, and they've won. Sony, sorry, y'all ain't big enough.
Sony is wrong for not recognizing the capitalist monster and just bowing down to every whim that Disney has.
They're a movie-making company. They're not concerned. They are concerned with capitalism. They want to make money. Disney is going to ruin them making money. They should have just
folded to the monopoly that is Disney.
I think they should have come up with a better deal, but
we don't know who walked away and when.
Oh, I guarantee Disney walked away from the table. I'm telling you right now.
Disney did say they did walk away.
Disney can walk away if they don't like one thing.
Exactly.
Ask somebody who works in a movie theater about the Force Awakens stuff or the Last Jedi stuff and
totally
what Disney will do. At some point, if he's a part of your combined property and my individual property, yeah, I'm going to walk away from the table too and say he was contributing a large part to your franchise. And I don't know exactly when that happened.
And as you walk out the door, you go, hey, leak this conversation on social media. And then these fans will drag Sony through glass and lemonade. Watch.
So you're saying that Disney is right because Disney is clever?
No,
I'm saying because they're the big guy. We don't like the little guy anymore.
The big guy.
Pretty much.
We don't like the outcasts on the super cool nerd show. Are you kidding me?
We don't like the
Hold
little
up.
guy in a
Hold on,
conversation
hold on,
about
hold on.
Spider-Man.
So
First off, Sony is not a little guy. Sony
Disney,
is,
they are.
Sony is not a bunch of nerds broadcasting the show out of somebody's house. Wait, never mind. Anyway,
I'm sorry, Sony is exactly that.
Sony
Sony is
is
the one
not
who is
that.
like Blu-ray's a format, but do you remember like the 8 other formats they try to put out
I'm
before
saying
then?
that they're not a big enough dog in this fight. They should have gone for this. They should have
Take
cut
your
the deal.
toys and go home until they want to talk to you.
Do you want to
seriously.
make money or do you not want to make money?
Here's the thing: Sony has had 2 chances to make really good Spider-Man films. The first from the original trilogy with Tobey Maguire. The first one was okay. The second one was great. The third one, just the studio got too involved and ruined Sam Raimi's vision. So they screwed the pooch on that one.
I don't
They
know.
waited-
I like the emo tote. I'm joking.
And I
James,
And
totally,
then-
I
James
totally,
Franco, Oscar worthy.
by the way, I totally agree with Jason in the chat. He's right. Your points are valid. They
Yeah.
are. They're totally valid.
No, I
You're
heard what
actually
you
right
said.
in this.
Bend over the table and just let the big guy do
But the
whatever he
big guy
wants.
is about to steamroll you.
And okay, so going on with the Spider-Man, then we had this Amazing Spider-Man. It was okay, and the first one was okay, and then the second one you could tell everyone kind of phoned it in. There wasn't no passion behind it, and then they just kind of canceled it all and
Of the
said, "Hey,
Spider-Man movies?
yeah, it's
The
Amazing
Andrew,
Spider-Man."
the Andrew Garfield.
Oh,
the Andrew
yeah.
Garfield ones.
I
Yeah.
blitzed through it when I was okay.
See, yeah.
Yeah.
So now and then, so they're like, "Hey, Disney, want to do this thing with us? Maybe when we can put Spider-Man in the MCU and we'll do a
You
thing."
think that's what
That's
Sony
not
did?
what
That is
happened.
not at all.
Like, what happened is Sony's like, hey, what if we just made this movie we want to make? We got some buy-in. We made a stylistically way different movie than what Marvel's making right now. And we cast different people, and we didn't talk that much about the MCU. And they made stylistically interesting, developed characters out of what they had. And now all of a sudden, the specific problem that Disney has is there's not enough producers in a room. I'm getting very nervous and I walk away from the table. I don't want to make a movie. Oh, you can't make a horse by committee? Is that what it is?
I
You end
don't
up with a camel? That's what you're fighting.
I don't think Into the Spider-Verse would have had the popularity it had if eyes were not back on Spider-Man.
That's true.
And those eyes went back on as soon as we saw him catch a shield and go, "Hey guys,
Yeah.
Nobody's denying that that there are benefits to a partnership. But at a certain point, if you put that many producers in a room with that much, you end up with DC movies, like the bad ones, like most of them.
speaking of," and I am going to say that joke is August 20th was the day that MCU fans found out what it was like to be like DCU fans.
That's true, and it's unfortunate.
Sad.
Here's the
I'm
thing.
Batman.
For
No,
me,
I'm
in the
Batman.
end, it's like, you know what? Whatever. If Sony comes out with a Spider-Man movie that it does not involve Kevin Feige or Disney Marvel, and there's a bigger chance of it failing, I think, than it doing $1 billion, just because people can say, "Oh, it's not part of the MCU anymore. It doesn't count towards this." And
I would think that way too if they hadn't just had a wildly successful Spider-Man movie.
but the thing, so now we know it's not going to be part of that because
So?
there's not.
I don't care if I don't want Into the Spider-Verse.
Did you
to have
only
No,
anything to do
buzz-
with
No,
MCU.
I'm not talking about Into the
Okay,
Spider-Verse. I'm
okay.
talking about a live-action Tom Holland Spider-Man film.
If you said, I'm sorry, Iron Man's not going to be in this short comic about Spider-Man, do comic fans still buy it? Yeah, they still buy it. Like, it might be a little bit of a more like grassroots audience kind of, but I love Tom Holland. I like Spider-Man better than I've ever liked Spider-Man.
Because Disney
I-
and Kevin Feige was involved.
No. I'm willing to take a gamble on another movie without him. Like, I think that obviously I'm very passionate about this, simplifying your process and not putting too many like cooks in the kitchen is a good thing. It makes better, clearer movies. If you do the
And-
opposite of that, you wind up with Batman versus Superman, the producer's cut, and like it's just
And I think that's what will happen if Sony doesn't partner up with Disney.
All I'm
Because it was only Kevin Feige being the producer to this film. and before, like I said, with Amazing Spider-Man and with Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, all that was just complete Sony producers all had a finger in that.
There's a risk of that happening. I agree with that. But I think if you put somebody very clearly in charge, one person, then you could wind up with a better property than if Disney gets to say everything that it thinks you have to do.
And from the chat, who gets to kill Uncle Ben this time? They vote Cass.
Why?
All I'm saying is,
I get my little red wagon.
we got Spider-Man back in Civil War.
Yeah.
Everyone got excited. Civil War made money. We made Spider-Man Homecoming. We made money. We were making money. And now people are going to suffer because of this. So it was better for them to come to a deal, and I'm sorry.
And there's still a chance.
I believe I saw a meme with Rocket and Winter Soldier, and it was like, how much for the kid? He's not for sale. How much for the company? Which is what it's going to boil down to. And also a good point from the chat. When they made this deal with Spider-Man joining the MCU, Sony was coming from a position of weakness because they just had all their email leaks and everything.
I understand that. And then they made this deal at a point of weakness. And now Disney wants to refinance the deal. What do you think Disney's trying to do? Do you think it's trying to make the same deal?
5% for a company that was struggling because they had no profitable movies, I think, at that point. Because I honestly, you say what Sony movies are out there, I'm like, I couldn't really tell you. Venom and Into the Spider-Verse.
I think we don't notice.
To quote one of their other franchises, I have altered the deal. Pray I don't alter it further.
I mean, 5%.
You're right. That's
you shut up.
No, genuinely, what is that
Darth
from?
Vader, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back.
That's the voice of a man in the right.
Sorry, you're quoting Darth Vader when you're saying what they should do.
To Lando, yes.
No, I'm sorry. Disney doesn't need Spider-Man.
No, they don't.
But the fans are going to suffer.
Sony
They're
does
not going to. Marvel wasn't planning on making another Spider-Man movie for 3 years. We have Phase 4. We know who's in it.
You want to suffer.
You might want to hold off on that.
The Eternals, right? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I was going to say you might want to hold off on it because we are getting a big event. And we have gone on with this topic for a while. So,
okay.
But we are getting a big event this weekend that might clear up some of that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I've got a couple things. So Tony Stark didn't time travel for no reason. He wanted to bring Peter back.
Also, arguably half the universe, but whatever.
Right. So that's not cool. But yeah, I think negotiations will come back to the table because I think they really need each other. But if there's a bright side to not having Peter and Spider-Man as part of the larger MCU picture, it is that maybe we can get more focused stories on some of their newer properties that they just acquired, and not to mention further other movie franchises, whether it be the Eternals, X-Men, Fantastic Four. I would love for Tom Holland to continue in this role in the MCU. Well, Toby was fun, but Tom is top rate. But yeah, I don't think it's over. I don't think we've seen the last, in my opinion, of Tom and this iconic character for Disney and Marvel. That's just my opinion. And I did want to add that I saw that somebody asked Ryan Reynolds, can we get a Spider-Man and Deadpool movie now?
I did see that.
And Ryan said, you can, but you can only see it in my heart.
That's just straight up manipulative.
That was funny.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's over in any way, shape, or form. And if Sony really wants this fun to continue and making huge box office bonanza movies, then I think they're gonna try really hard to come to an agreement because honestly, didn't the success of this movie ride high on the success of Infinity War and Endgame?
Not the second one. The first one, maybe a little bit in the Civil War.
It wasn't Endgame because Endgame wasn't out when the first one.
I'm talking about the second movie.
Oh.
Right.
I mean, kind of, but at the same
I think-
time,
Well, his subsequent appearance and disappearance in Infinity War certainly upset a lot of people. So
Right.
we just got it back.
here's what's gonna happen. If Sony releases a Tom Holland, a not MCU Spider-Man with Tom Holland, and it tanks, or it doesn't make, or if it doesn't hit $1 billion, they're gonna go back with their tails between their legs and say, Disney, we're sorry, we messed up.
And Disney is going to
Okay, we won
own
65%,
everything. And then fans are actually going to suffer.
And poor Happy Hogan.
right?
How's he gonna hook up with Aunt May?
I don't care about it.
All right,
So
so
better off making a deal.
all right, so moving on. We had, should we go D23 or Gamescom?
I'm going with that D23 list 'cause I'm
D23.
excited because tomorrow.
All right, let me bring up the list. So this
down.
weekend we have
Yeah, I'm excited.
our mass overlords have their yearly convention called D23. It is not easy to get into, but Friday. I'm just gonna go on with what they have got here going on as the times goes on. So we've got at 4 p.m. on Friday, we've got Disney Plus Showcase. So they're gonna be showcasing a lot of their they're probably gonna announce a couple new shows, maybe new movies. What else is gonna go on with Disney Plus? Is there anything excited you guys are excited about Disney Plus?
I'm excited tomorrow to finally see the trailer for The Mandalorian.
No, that is true. That is tomorrow.
That is tomorrow. If you don't think that we're going to get something from Rise of Skywalker this weekend, you're out of your mind. I'm
yeah.
getting-
Yeah,
I'm
that's
getting-
what I'm looking for.
I'm
too.
looking for Rise of Skywalker. I'm looking for the announcement of Force Friday from when the toys go on sale. Something that we'll cover on Alternate Heads, a toy podcast. You should certainly watch.
I'm so glad you have that podcast.
But also,
So we can talk
there
about
are a lot
other
of
things.
properties that are filming right now. Black Widow is going on. They've started filming on Bucky and Winter Soldier. WandaVision is supposed to go into production real soon. So
Loki.
they're coming strong for the. I think everything is going to be centered around the Disney Plus app, and because they got to build some hype for that. I forget when that's supposed to launch.
November 12th.
Okay,
2 days after my birthday.
so they've got to build some hype for this.
Yeah.
They did a little bit for SDCC, but I think it's really going to be focused on here are the things that are coming to Disney Plus, and so for us to go like, woo, more. Oh wait, I gotta be core. There's a Hawkeye show, which I'm actually excited for. No, I'm actually excited for the Hawkeye show, and bless little Cora. I'm ready for this show. So yeah, we might even see some trailers for some of these shows, which that would really excite me.
That's
So-
genuinely, obviously, that's what I'm excited for is the trailers because I'm not there. So I'm excited about the things that will be coming
Did you
out
check
of it.
yourself for like a badge or something?
Am I? No, I'm not there.
You're
She's
here.
usually
Yes, you are
cast, and she may or may not be there.
It's a couple of things. A couple other things happening on Friday. Agents Marvel's Shield are doing their panel. It is the last season for them, so
Thank
Are they still going on?
yeah, that's still going on. They're also doing
Whirlpool for less.
Disney Plus screening of High School Musical, the series.
What?
Thank
That is
goodness.
Wow.
We're finally
Yes.
getting there.
That is the name of it. One thing I wish I was there to see the music and sounds of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Just kind of see everything they do.
Wait, isn't that a phone?
Huh?
Galaxy's Edge, isn't that a phone?
No,
Huh.
that's the exhibit out there.
It is the
And then this is
Galaxy
cool.
Edge.
The Galaxy Edge is okay.
Understood.
Vader Immortal, a Star Wars VR series.
That's cool.
Episode 2 first look. So they're doing that on Friday. They're also doing their Marvel Animations Venom Invasion and world premiere. And then great moments with Walt Disney, and then that's pretty all the what I find interesting for Friday.
Leonard Nimoy's coming back with In Search of the Swiss Family Treehouse.
That is another one, yes. On Saturday, they're doing a panel for The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Since now they're on The Simpsons, since they're on Fox, they're doing a panel on The Simpsons. They're also celebrating 50 years of the Haunted Mansion.
Okay, but Disney on Broadway in concert.
That is going to be pretty cool.
Let's get ready to hear Let It Go 45 times.
They did. I mean,
Yeah, no, I know.
I think they have enough.
There's
right,
a lot of
to make a
open
good
areas
mix.
in this schedule, and I'm hoping that we hear some stuff from our final season of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Here's one that's Marvel Comics, Marvel's 80th anniversary. They've been around 80 years. And then this is pretty cool. For Stage 28, they've got Woman of Impact. Meet the Nat Geo Explorers changing the world. That'd be pretty cool to attend.
Yep. That's a little pandery, but I'm okay with it.
And
That
then-
shot in Endgame was a little pandery, but like, it happens.
I don't-
It was so cool.
No one's
though,
saying
like,
anything bad about that scene. That
It
scene
was
was cool.
pandering.
It
I
was
loved it.
pandery.
That's what
liked it.
I
Yes.
like. It felt a little like constructed, but it was so cool. I didn't care.
It was forced, and I don't care.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And then Sunday, we've got Sneak Peek Disney Parks Experiences and Products. So a bunch of new things coming to the parks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they've got Galaxy's Edge, and then when I was there at MGM Studios, there's like MGM Studios is empty in a lot of ways, but there's like so much construction going on around it. So there's other things that are in the works, just haven't announced it. They're also doing Disney's Character Voices Inc. 30th anniversary celebration for that. It is also the 30th anniversary of The Little Mermaid. That came out 30 years ago.
Wow. Who cares? Sorry.
I mean, 30 years ago.
racist.
If you think about it,
Right
30
now.
years ago was when they started the Disney Renaissance.
Oh, that's fair.
So we've got that.
Also,
And
like
that's-
the new, I'm excited about. I want it to be good. The new Little Mermaid, because the voice talent, because she's so off the charts and she's so cute. But like, I haven't traditionally loved the live action Disney stuff.
I am excited for people to stop telling me you should if you want to cosplay a Disney princess, you should cosplay Ariel. I'm like, please stop.
You should cosplay Elsa.
Do you
I would
wanna
actually-
cosplay Disney?
No, you will.
A little bit, but I would like to cosplay the chick from Brave. She
Ah.
seems cool.
Can you do the accent though?
Not
do the
yet.
voice?
You don't have to
Uh,
be able to. She was
but-
imperceptible, like she inscrutable in whatever
Wreck-It
Wreck-It
Ralph.
Ralph.
So a couple other things we've got going on. This was interesting. Power up your brain with Keegan Michael Key. I don't know what that's about, but that's be something to
He
be.
is weirdly like
I
inspirational.
mean, I would go to that.
Yeah.
He has a lot of
That was the other
inspirational
one.
like content.
And I hope Jordan Peele shows up
Or
and does
extra
something horrific.
Just crashes the
Yes.
panel. would
I
love that.
like it if he stood up to the side and was like, a universe where this man is giving inspirational thoughts.
Yes.
Sure this.
Right.
They are also doing on Sunday the Two Worlds, One Family, the making of Tarzan. It has been 20 years since Tarzan came out. Since Phil Collins went that hard for us when he didn't need to.
He didn't need to, but he did.
And then on stage 28 again, Heroines of the Disney Galaxies presented by Box Lunch. And also Inspiring Woman Behind the
Presented
Star
by
Wars.
who?
Box Lunch?
Okay.
They're the ones
Sure.
who made those stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're my favorite nerd stores right now, though. Like,
They're super expensive, but all the
Yeah.
they're
stuff's
so cool.
And then also Inspiring Woman Behind Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, also on the stage.
Oh, so they're
28.
going
They're
like
going-
hard.
yeah.
Okay.
50 years of Walt Disney Archives, a gold mine of fun finds, and the hidden gems of the Walt Disney Animation Research Library.
Should it say hidden gems or hidden jams?
Hidden gems.
Is
Sorry.
that racism? Is that the hidden gems? Like,
No.
do
Behind
you
Walt
want
Disney?
to go
Yeah.
to like old Disney and
Do
be
we
like,
wanna
we
go-
found all this hidden
Do
stuff?
we want to go hunting through Dumbo and find out what's going on there?
What was inspiring the crows exactly?
And then, back on Saturday, I'm sorry, there's a secret Walt Disney Company project which will be announced today. It was supposed to be announced today, but I've been looking, haven't seen anything announced yet.
I've got some information on that.
What do we got?
Okay, so they're going to show you an at-home kit how you can freeze your own head because that's what they did with Walt Disney's head.
You
I was
did.
so
So-
excited.
That's going to be.
I was so
that's gonna
excited.
be
Like you had actual info.
That is actual info, Ricardo.
I'm going to shove those glasses up your ass.
I'd like to see you try.
Let's wait till
I'd like to
after
see
the
you
show.
fail at that. But anyway, Cass, you will just snap rice for that. Anyway,
It's
No,
a friendly stabbing, right?
no, I need him. Oh, I'm sorry, I need him Saturday for alternate heads. You're good.
Bummer.
And his liver.
So if you're a Disney fan, absolutely check out all of that stuff.
We'll be
and all
posting
the
this
many, many
weekend.
trailers that
Yep.
we hope are coming out.
Why do you need my liver?
Oh, no reason. I just need you to keep it in good shape.
You got
can
some.
grow it.
Got some
Oh,
fava beans. You want to?
grow it.
Oh no, I just might need to replace mine later. So
Okay.
I keep you guys around
Okay.
the organ transplant. So,
Okay.
All right, so this weekend in Germany, we have the actual. A lot of people think E3 is the biggest gaming gathering in the world. It is not. It is actually Gamescom, and this year it was in Germany.
It's in Germany.
It's always in Germany.
It's always in Germany. I thought it moved around Europe. So
Nope.
No,
So you-
Gamescom is like
You're not
European EA.
wrong. This year it is in Germany.
So yeah, Gamescom this year. The only thing really that caught my eye some of this stuff caught my eye. Some of this stuff was already announced at E3, but they went more in depth at Gamescom. We finally saw Marvel's Avengers gameplay. I'm still iffy on the design of what they look like, but the gameplay seems fun.
It seems like a very basic, fun game.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll drop 60 right off the bat. Maybe I'll wait a little bit to go down in price. There's other games I'm more excited for, like Fallen Jedi.
Go support GameStop.
There you go. But yeah, there was one big one though. Cass, you kind of talked a little bit about it. Death Stranding.
Death Stranding. We got a decent amount of information that we didn't previously have, which was any information about Death Stranding. We kind of figured out what the babies are for. I actually don't want to get too into spoilers, but we found out what the baby is for. We found out kind of what the game's about, which is connection. We learned some about that at E3, but there was much, much, much more information about Death Stranding, which is exciting. I'm actually not reading a lot of it because I want to play through the game and just be really confused. We also got 40 seconds of Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
And some really cool cosplay from them.
I haven't seen any of
I'll
the
look it up.
cosplay
Somebody
from
made the
Cyberpunk.
light up jacket. It's awesome.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Google's. They did another presentation for Stadia,
For what?
for the Stadia system.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
coming out with.
What did that look like?
Bonkers.
I mean, they did a bunch of new trailers, of course, and it's got me interested.
Yeah.
It definitely has me interested because I do believe this is going to be the no cartridges, no discs, this everything, and then we're going to be hit with the new Xbox, which they won't tell us. Oh, it's not going to play games. It's going to be download only. I think Google is ready to come in, take this hit, and be the system that has downloadable only, no hard copy games, and then everybody's going to be like, well, Google's doing it, so we got to do it too.
That's how software went. A couple big titles had to take the hit, and then everybody was like, "Oh, it's fine."
I don't like that. I like hard copies.
Also,
Because when
Hideo,
Skynet takes over, I want to be untraceable.
also for Death Stranding, congratulations for Hideo for being just as vague as he always is.
Yep.
God, I love this man. And I
Always.
hate him.
Mhm.
But yeah, also this is Gamescom's 10th year, so
Oh,
yeah, kudos.
so that's for wow,
Good for
10
them.
years is bigger than E3. Good
They
for
don't,
them.
they don't get a lot of media here, and part of that, I think, is because they're a lot more likely to introduce expansions, and that
Yeah.
doesn't play to media as well, even if it's just as big a deal.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey DLC dropped.
Oh,
Apparently, it's
I
really
didn't
cool.
see that.
Oh.
Monster Hunter was one of the biggest things
Getting-
last year.
And getting a new
They're getting an
DLC.
Iceborne.
I'm
I don't know what that means.
They
It
keep
sounds
dragging me
awesome.
back into that game.
They're doing pretty well at that. They might need to teach Apex Legends how to.
I know.
Apex
people
Legends has had a
leave it and then
rough
they walk
go,
away.
though.
one
No,
that
that's you're thinking.
I was
the
really
other
excited
one.
for the.
Apex has been pretty popular, but there was the other one that dropped the exact same
Yeah.
time.
Well, one of the ones I was just the indie showcase from Nintendo. I love the indie games that they're coming out with Switch for. But the big one, this Ori and the Blind Forest. Did y'all see the?
I think I did.
I did not.
I
What
need
is
this
that?
game. I
Is
need
that the
this game.
horror one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see the trailer for that. That looks.
I want to say what it's
Ooh.
called. What it's called?
Ori, ORI, and the Blind Forest.
Oh, I saw something about it today.
Yes.
We'll watch it after the show because it's really awesome.
But we did get some more for the Blair Witch game that's coming out, by the way.
I
which-
did see a little
Nice.
bit about that. I'm kind of excited for
Like
that.
Speaking
found
of horror.
footage game.
Yeah.
Cool.
Uh,
Also,
I'm
Gears
willing.
5.
yeah, we got some gameplay for that.
Gears 5.
Mhm.
Need for Speed Heat, which is hilarious to me because Need for Speed is exactly like what's that series?
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, they keep releasing stuff and it keeps making money, and I have no idea why. It's
I mean,
not different.
you could do this. You could say the same thing about like Madden and 2K, NBA 2K, and
Yeah, I know, but like this is the video game version of a movie series that's just not. They don't have any new plot lines or anything. The thing that I'm really excited about actually is the Battletoads.
Yes,
thing because
yes.
people think it was a good game and it wasn't.
Battletoads was not great, but I
It was
loved
not
it.
great.
I
So
love Battletoads.
people are so excited about this for the nostalgia factor, and they're gonna play it and they're gonna be like, "This is worse than Frogger," and it's gonna be so funny.
What I'm not excited for, but excited for at the same time, is Witcher 3 coming to my Switch and me playing Witcher yet again because it's on my Switch.
Do you think it's going to be slightly less clunky this time around?
It'll be just one I can take with me. Okay. I did like we're getting Cyberpunk 2077 on the Stadia, by the
It's
way.
gonna be big.
Mortal Kombat, Samurai Showdown, one of my favorite fighting games of all time.
Oh, new Call of Duty stuff. It's like new game modes, but not a new game.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that care about Call of Duty. I'm not one of them. You'll have to talk to someone else.
We're getting that.
Huh?
Call of Duty is the one that
Yeah,
does
that's
zombie,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
This is just like 2v2 skirmish mode with
Oh,
modes.
okay.
And
So
also
to-
one that we saw recently, Doom Eternal.
Yes.
Yeah. So to go along with the Gears 5 thing you said a little bit ago, they also added Halo Spartans to the multiplayer.
Ooh.
So you can play as some of the Halo Spartans on there. We also got the Final Fantasy VIII remake. And one thing I'm kind of excited for, I might actually get a VR set for this. The gameplay for Iron Man VR for the
Oh, yeah.
PlayStation. So
Yeah, that looks awesome.
yeah,
It's probably going to be crap, but let's face it, who doesn't want a suit of armor and flying and all that? Come on, if there's one thing the Iron Man movies got right, is the flight part.
yeah.
So I'm kind of in.
Somebody
for this.
has to like pour big money into VR, and it should be Disney. So like, I'm excited about this starting methods of development that will benefit us in other ways.
Go ahead.
I will say, the Final Fantasy VIII remake had me a little bit nervous. I thought it would ruin the classic meme of her saying, "You're the best looking guy here," and then you look at him and it's just pixels.
Yeah.
But
Did they keep the pixels?
It did not keep the pixels, but he's still ugly. So
Okay,
that's
there we
nice.
go.
I think you can't ruin a meme that good.
Yeah.
Oh, for those that are excited for the Death Stranding, it is using the Decima engine, which is the same thing they use for Horizon Zero Dawn.
Which is the
So
best.
if you thought that game was gorgeous, Death Stranding is going to be just as beautiful. So
If you're one of the 8 people that played that game since it dropped a week before
I
Breath of
think-
the Wild came out.
I think up to 17 people started it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so awesome guys! Thank you for joining us on another awesome show.
You sound
I'm
a
excited
little bit
for-
less sincere about
Was
it.
it
Yes.
awesome? That's for you to decide.
I'm
Uh,
excited for ZZ Top Gun, the game that they promoted.
I would play that.
Is that
Yeah.
a real thing that you just said
It's
out of your
yeah,
mouth?
yeah, Tom Cruise, yeah,
Okay.
with various beards,
That's
various
so
length
weird
of
that
beards.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Maybe
it's gonna be a
you
good
can
one.
play
He's-
paper
he's got-
dolls too, but they have to be on their consoles.
Oh, okay.
It's
Gotcha.
gonna be a good one.
I remember
hope we
paper
get to-
dolls. They had little tabs you would fold back.
I hope we get to play it together in all the modes.
The worst thing that I've ever heard. Okay.
Well,
What's-
guys, like I said, thank you for joining us on another show. I said I'm Ricardo. You can find me on Instagram at DraftsRick. No, I'm sorry. Huh?
What?
Did I change something? Did I forget something?
I don't know.
It's been a hot minute since I've been on the show.
What are you on Instagram?
I'm
You
Alpha
plug
Nerd
the
89.
shows.
There we go.
Social media first.
Oh, you can find us at YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Are we still on Twitch? Did we get back on Twitch?
Vaguely.
We play D&D on Twitch.
D&D's
Oh yeah,
on
that's right,
Twitch.
Twitch. Cool. Find
But
us
not
at
this
SCNS Live on all the social media platforms.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and probably, well, Twitch and others.
Others.
Probably.
Google Plus.
Cash App, maybe. I don't know.
Venmo.
PayPal.
Do we need Cash App?
Venmo.
If you'd like to give us money.
So yeah, SCNS Live on all the social media platforms. You can find that. And if you
Pretty
want to send us
simple.
money, go for it.
You can find me on Instagram at BetterCat. Find me on Twitter at Doa Drawings, where I'm drawing terrible cartoons of things that Overwatch League casters say.
The worst cartoon.
We hit 200 something followers.
We did
though.
hit 200 followers,
That's
and that
great.
is
I'm gonna-
embarrassing in a really weird way.
I'm going to follow you right now.
Awesome. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Cass_Bradley. That is KAS_Bradley, which I actually just want to change to. You can also see me doing really, really stupid stuff. On Now with Milk, we play D&D every Sunday evening, and Kat is almost always there as well. And it's
I played a
Real stupid,
character
real fun.
like this. I wanted to be the best adventurer. Does that sound like anybody? It was funny last week.
Did you say your accounts?
no, he
Ricardo?
lost his chance.
Yeah,
He
you did.
said one of them.
Yeah. Draft House Rick.
Okay.
No, Alamo Nerd 89.
Trap
Sorry,
How many Ricks in the trap house? All right.
Alamo Nerd 89 on Instagram.
You can find me on Netflix as Agent King in the future, and you can also find Bryce Culver on Instagram and Facebook at Bryce Culver, and you can also find my toy page on Instagram. It's called Trapdoor Toys, and I want to plug Alternate Heads. Don't forget to watch that. It should be out on YouTube probably on Monday, so check us out. We have a new episode every 2 weeks, and it's called Alternate Heads. So
And also
check it
Anime
out.
TV.
I was getting to that.
Okay.
No.
I forgot. It's on there.
So, yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JasonX. But also, we encourage you to watch our new show that we just launched with Nier and Cora. It's called Anime TV. For the first episode, they reviewed the football anime Ice Shield 21,
I had
which
no idea
I
that was a
actually
thing.
watched some episodes of this. I kind of like it, honestly. It's like, oh, this is a football anime. This is stupid. No, it's funny. It's actually really funny. Also, the Japanese, what they think of us is wrong. It's totally wrong. But yeah, they're playing American football. It's a great anime.
They're so respectful.
Nier and Cora did a good job of breaking it down, and actually made me want to go watch the show.
Good thing.
There you go.
Good
Yeah.
thing Americans always get other countries down. Nail it.
Check out Anime TV. Also, some
If
videos
we
coming
need
from
one.
our time at Anime Fest. We interviewed some artists and had a good time with it. We got some
Oh, fun.
cosplayers too.
Yeah.
So those are coming out soon as well. Anyway,
Speaking of coming out soon, we've got Super Cool Nerd Nation coming back soon. I've been doing a lot of interviews. So next week we'll be coming up with some more. So keep an eye out for those. We'll be debuting that again. Just gotta make time to do interviews. Sometimes I gotta
It's
take
gonna
small
be
breaks.
me
Yeah.
and her.
So
at
cool.
some point.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you for joining us again on SNS Live today. And as always,
We say.
Keep,
Keep
on
on
nerding.
nerding.
Or stop.
Hashtag Save Spider-Man.
One more time. All right, that is our show. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to check out the live video version of this podcast, you can find it on Facebook and YouTube at SCNS Live. And if you want to join the SCNS Live community, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at SCNS Live. Thank you for listening and have an amazing week.
Nail it.